Welcome to Coffee with Cari and Paul. Hi, I'm Cari.
And I'm Paul.
Together, we're the real estate experts behind Cari and Paul Real Estate, giving you the lowdown on buying, selling, and investing in Toronto.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to get more videos just like this.
We are huge coffee fans at Cari and Paul Real Estate. So tell me, what's your go-to coffee, Paul?
So I can't lie. It's as long as it's caffeinated and black, I'm good.
Okay.
You got a favorite?
I have a very specific favorite that I discovered abroad. It's Kyoto Slow Drip cold brew coffee.
I mean, I'm really excited. This is our first, vodcast. And I know for me, why I really wanted to do this vodcast was because we had so much information. We have a wealth of experience between the two of us, and I wanted to share it on a platform that we could get that information out to. And yes, we have social media, and that's great for instant facts, but for actually deep diving into material, I think this is the best way to do it.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to provide some more stories and context to our experience in real estate, our clients' experiences in real estate over the past 12 years. We both got licensed together in 2009, and it's been a pretty wild ride over the past 12 years in Toronto. And we wanted to share that with you all. What it's been like, the ups and downs, and where we think it's headed, and little snippets of our experiences.
So this episode's actually all about us. All right. So if we were to tell them something about us, I guess, how do we start? Where do we start?
We're a husband and wife team. We got involved. Originally, we were working in Yorkville. It was the only brokerage in Yorkville, so we started in the high-end luxury market. It was a lot of fun. We just dove right in.
Yeah. I think I realized real quick how hard real estate is. I think, it comes across when you watch it on HGTV and other platforms, like, oh, this is a really cool job, but it is really hard. And I think what made it, manageable and so fun the first year is that we got to do it together.
We were very, very hungry. We wanted to learn. Yep. I feel like that we still have that. Like, it's always learning in real estate. There's always something new and unexpected, and to be humble and have some level of humility as you go through this business, I think is really important. It was our second year of business that we ended up doing a land assembly in the Yorkville area, and we sold a mixed use building to a developer, and that really kicked off our career. And that was a big learning experience.
I learned how confident you were in taking things. I was scared. I was like, I don't know if we can do this. This is crazy. But you're like, no, we'll learn. We hired professionals. We hired consultants. I think that's one takeaway from throughout our whole career, actually, is that if we didn't know, we found the professionals. We found the people who did know. And
we've always had mentors all along the way, right from the beginning. And I'm a big believer in a team, and when you don't know something, go and seek out that information from the people that do know that can guide you. We did that. Yep. And I think that's how we were able to build our careers and service our clients. If we didn't know, we asked. And
that goes, speaking of love, so what do you absolutely love about this business?
So we came from the matchmaking industry. And so for me, high-end matchmaking was a huge wild ride and a learning experience. And I equate a lot of things to matchmaking, but real estate as well to what I learned in the matchmaking business. In that, matchmaking, not just people to homes or properties, but also people to the right agent, right? And also going beyond what's on the surface and understanding needs and wants, and that there is a journey aspect to it too. And again, this comes down to learning about each other, whether it's agent to client or even clients within their own, relationships, deciding on properties.
We've played marriage counselor in the back of our car between couples. It's a very emotional ride. Every single purchase, it's, usually when it's a family home, when it's your next home, it's an emotional journey. And that's something that I think being from the matchmaking industry, we actually carried over, and how to handle those emotions, how to read and understand people and what their needs are, and how to ask the right questions to get to the root of what they're looking for.
Yeah, for sure. And also the learning aspect of it too, right? Like, I don't think we've ever had a client that came to us that said, I want exactly this, but didn't change as they went through the process. It got all the information, started, kind of digging below the surface. So,
that was always part of our practice. When we started working with buyers, it was a pyramid. We always said they started here with all their needs, wants, right? And you got to work towards something. And it's a learning curve with the client and the client for themselves.
Yeah. And a high stakes investment. I mean, typically it's life savings that people are investing in into not just a home or a place they're going to live or an investment, but also into you and your expertise, and you as like somebody who's going to guide them through it. And I think we've always, I know for me, and I know you as well, we talked about this, like the burden of responsibility, ethical responsibility, professional, to be in the know, have the information. And although we can't predict the future, we do our best to be as diligent and thorough as we can with what we've got.
What has been your favorite part about working with me? I wrote that down.
That's a really good question.
Tell me.
Well, because we're married.
Yeah.
So it's been a journey.
I mean, some history. We've actually always worked together. Before we got
licensed together.
In a relationship, we were actually working together.
Yeah. We used to, we went to school together. We produced fashion shows together, charity fashion shows together. We worked in matchmaking together. Yep. People always ask if we met in the matchmaking business. And the answer is no. What my favorite thing, I think your work ethic, and not just in real estate, but like when we first started working together, is like bar none. Like, the thing about Paul is that, like, he's just got this drive, this just like insatiable drive, and like it's relentless. I have so many words for it. It's like a relentless pursuit to making sure that every detail is like overturned, and you always know your numbers. You always, you're the opposite of me, and so I really appreciate what you bring to the table.
Thank you. I'm gonna keep you.
Getting big.
Yes, it is, absolutely. Well, that at least been keeping the hot seat. Because what's been your least favorite part about working with me?
It's a thing that I've enjoyed most about working with you. It's how detailed you are. You're also like, you're very, very detail oriented. So this is where sometimes we clash. Like I'm the opposite. I'm like a bigger picture. You're very detailed, and sometimes that works really well, and sometimes we collide. I'd say the detail oriented. Yeah.
Clearly. 3 times. You said it 3 times. So it's definitely that.
A little bit of perfection. Like, there's definitely a perfection, which I appreciate, but also can drive me crazy.
Yeah.
So what about me?
Of you?
Yeah. Has
always been your passion. Mm-hmm. I always say this, like, passion is an intangible that you get with anyone. You have to be passionate about what you do. And when you brought that and anything we took on, I just instantly gravitated to that. I said, wow, that's amazing. I love how excited she gets for the job, how excited she gets for life. And I think, in a relationship and in business, it was just, for me, it was like, that was made it working with you for like the last 12 years now, or longer, 16 years now? Is always every day. It hasn't changed.
There is some really good agents out there. There's some really, really good pro agents that, I speak very highly of. We see in the business all the time when we're trading. Like, it is a business of relationships and of cooperation and collaboration. But I don't think every agent is for every client, right? And so it's about finding the right one that fits for you. And you always say someone you know, like, and trust, right? It's got to be a match. But it's an important position, I think, an important profession. And questions.
I wrote them down.
Oh my goodness, at the hot seat.
Well, whether we're having agents watch this or people buying or selling, I always look back at and say, okay, how did we get to where we are now? Going back to the beginning, what would you have done differently?
Oh yeah, a lot. I mean, a personal practice and professional practice of mine is always reflection, like looking back at like, what did we learn in everything that we've done? Okay, so going back, I would have, I mean, we drove hard and we worked hard, but I definitely would have read more. I would have pulled out more resources to understand the bigger picture of the business. I mean, we drove towards like, you know, we were very much into client care. Like but there was a sharp learning curve too, right? For us. So I would have done a bit more research into the business overall. And I would have probably like hired more professional to support us earlier. I would have hired an assistant earlier, a marketing team earlier. Like the business it really is like any business. It's so multifaceted and there's so many, you can't do everything, but we did everything for a long time. And yeah, I mean, I would have brought in more professionals.
I think it's a common mistake agents make. They get into the business thinking it's just selling houses, but it's actually a full business. You have operations, business. You have marketing, you have sales, administration. That's so right. All that stuff, and kind of, I think that was like one of the biggest game changers in our business is actually kind of dividing. Yeah. We moved a lot and we butted heads a lot on direction. A lot until we actually started separating tasks and defined roles. It became a lot easier and things went a lot smoother.
Yeah. And also to focus on what your strengths are and what you're good at and also what you enjoy. Sometimes those align, sometimes they don't. But like, you know, again, not trying to do everything and really understanding where your time is best needed, right? Yeah. So
when I look back at when, you know, what I kind of done differently from the start is I dived into trying to know everything about real estate, trying to analyze it, make it statistical, calculate it, know everything I need to know about a house, about a condo and how everything works, and less about dealing with people. Like even the books that I've read recently, whether it's knowing people's disc profiles, right, understanding psychology, those aspects I took on later and has actually made my job more enjoyable and more smoother because now I actually understand people. I don't just explain houses. I remember when I started, I would sit there and tell one person everything they need to know about a house, and they may not want to hear it.
They may not want to hear it. 100%.
It's over their head. They just want to know, well, I love the house. And so being able to understand, read personalities to say, what information do I need to communicate to this person? What do they need to know, feel, or experience has changed the business for me.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, you're connecting with your client and learning how to service them while at the same time being true to what you offer. Right. And I think this is where the right match is really important. Like we are big on, we always have been on information, right? Like our availability, we're full service. I mean, we make sure we're fast. Over the past 10 years, that's really mattered. Kind of ahead of the game, you know, coming soon, like whatever it's taken to just give our clients any little bit of advantage that we could, we've really focused on that and done. But at the same time, clients have different needs and it's about learning them and understanding them so they can go through the process with some level of like comfort, right? And trust and you're taking them through. So
I still warn buyers when I start with them, on showings, I'm going to talk a lot and I'm going to talk fast because I still want to give them all the information, but
some people love it.
Some people love it.
Some people are really kind of
they couldn't care less.
Left brain. They want the charts, they want the graphs, they want the stats, you know, and those people really like you. Like you bring all of that, right? Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, residential real estate tends to be very emotional. And you know, so they say like some of your biggest decisions in life are emotional ones, right? And you know, when somebody walks into a property, they know right away whether or not they feel like they could live in this home or not, right? But the key is to make sure that we're taking them into a place they can afford. We're taking them into a place that hasn't sold already, right? Like all of those things. So the due diligence is done.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah. Take another direction.
Yeah.
what has been maybe
You're
some,
interviewing me.
Yeah, I am. I like asking you questions. What has been some of your favorite moments or maybe your favorite wins that you look back and be like, oh, that was amazing. This is why I love it.
Okay. So personally, I mean, we've done a lot of residential. Most of our business has been residential, but I find our commercial land sales have been so challenging and so out of the box that I've personally taken an interest because it just forced me to grow beyond what I had already kind of known, right? And I love a challenge. I love it's like insatiable for me. I love learning something new. So it would be, Davenport and Brampton. Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
I was gonna say that's where we differ because you like the big whales. Yeah. They drive me nuts because they stress me out. But I like the consistent, repeatable business.
That's why we're good match.
I mean, I think I have certain memory, like win points in my memory is like after our first year of actually jumping in and being the fear, like, can we do this? And we got through the first year and got through married. We're able to pay all the bills, pay the mortgage. That was a big win.
Bought a house for my mom. It's a big year.
Yeah. And I think COVID, because I got 2020. I remember just sitting in my room with my desk and a computer, trying to make videos, trying to do whatever I can to pivot in the business. And that was a really scary time, but coming out the other end being like, okay, we got through it. We're okay.
Yeah. We also switched roles. Yeah. So like I used to be at the forefront of the business and you were supporting me and then we switched. Yeah. And that was like a full transitional period.
Growing pains.
Yeah.
A lot of growing pains.
I mean, being married and business partners isn't for the faintest of hearts. It's not for everyone. People always ask us how we do it. We've never known anything other than that.
No, we haven't.
We've always worked together.
But we've had to work on separating business pleasure. That's always been a big thing, is like actually sitting down at the end of the night and not talking business.
Yes, not talking business at home, unless we have to. Yeah. But learning how to separate it, staying in our lanes.
That's the defined roles.
Yeah, defined roles.
Another question for you here.
Yeah.
Looking back, would you have done anything else besides real estate?
So no, because I remember in high school, I did a test for like my number one appropriate career given my personality. It was like a personality assessment test. And it was actually a real estate agent. And when I was 19, me and my best friend signed up for the real estate courses. And then I never finished it. I went to university instead. But we're now both real estate agents, ironically. He's a very good agent as well. But moving into matchmaking and then segueing, going from matchmaking, the high-end matchmaking business to like selling high-end real estate was like a seamless transition. And actually, I found selling real estate much easier than matchmaking because there was just more quantitative and tangible. Like it's just more tangible. Yeah,
plus the house isn't going to dump you.
No, yeah, like exactly. Matchmaking
or cheat on
is
you.
a really tough business. Ironically, if we were presented to each other to date each other, we would have turned each other down. We laugh about that all the time. Like we obviously are married and love each other and everything, but we wouldn't have accepted to date each other through the matchmaking business. So it's a lot more intangible. And so no, I always wanted to sell real estate. I used to sit on MLS when I was really young looking at pictures, and I used to dream of living in the beaches next to the water, and that was always like I felt like I was called to it in many ways.
Yeah, I mean, same. I wouldn't do anything else. I don't know anything else that provides the amount of flexibility, inflexibility. The most flexible, inflexible schedule. But I wanted a job where I could move around, meet people, not sit at a desk all day. And I find real estate like fits the bill for that. Like I get to talk to people all day. Yeah. I get to go out. I get to see houses, and it's a really good balance. And there's the potential in this business is just.
Yeah, it's now. Do you want to share with our watchers or listeners when I met you? You were 20.
Yep.
What were you looking to be?
A firefighter. A firefighter to real estate agent. Yeah. So it's funny. Yeah, I wouldn't be the first.
No, I know.
There's a lot of firefighters out there.
We know a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, firefighter to real estate agent, matchmaker to real estate agent. Yeah. You never know. You never know who your agent is before they become an agent. Yeah. If you feel like we're a match and you have any questions for us or want to learn more, please feel free to subscribe.
Comment below or reach out to us direct, and we're happy to help. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more episodes like this.